Within 5 years, we are going to connect with every single human on this planet who listens to music, who buys tickets, who wears a t shirt, or walks into a venue. And when we do, we are going to awaken something inside of them that the world has been trying to put to sleep. I'm going to show you exactly how, and I'm going to show you your role in making it happen. But first, before I show you where we are going, let me show you why you should believe that we are going to get there. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 10 years old. I've never had a job and I've never worked for anyone. Not because I couldn't, but because I was not wired that way. I've always been someone who looked at the system and thought there has to be a better way. I was anti-school, I was anti the system, I was a maverick before I even knew what the word meant. I built a successful bakery business from the ground up, then I walked away to chase something bigger. I told my wife I was going to take everything that we had and invest it into building a music company. She looked at me and said, "You don't know anything about the music business. You don't know anyone in the music business. How are you going to do it?" In just 2 years, my team and I built the fastest growing alternative rock band in UK history. 338 million streams, over 85,000 tickets sold, 2 sold-out nights at Brixton Academy, 10,256 tickets, a top 20 debut album, no major label, and no traditional industry machine behind us, just a system, all within 2 years. It was never luck, it was a system, and I've spent every day since making it better, a system built on principles that I've been developing since I was building my bakery business. Principles that work in any industry, in any market, at any scale. And I've spent every single day since then refining that system, testing it, improving it, until I had the complete blueprint. The results didn't stop with the Hunna. One artist went from $30,000 in revenue to $300,000 in 12 months. Same audience, didn't need a single new fan. Another, a DJ, went from 1,500 tickets in London to 6,000 in 9 months, selling out shows all over the world. Multiple businesses, multiple industries, multiple million-dollar funnels, same principles. I've worked with clients across completely different industries, helping them scale their businesses using the same underlying principles. Different industries, different products, different audiences, same principles, same fundamental truths, same incredible results. Everything I've ever built, every business, every campaign, every artist I have worked with, every result that I've created is based on the same thing: fundamental truths. Principles that are not my opinion, principles that are not trends, principles that just are, the way that gravity just is, the way that the sun rises. These are laws, and once you understand them, everything changes. Now, let me tell you about the machine. The traditional music industry was designed to do one thing: to keep artists fragmented, keep them dependent, keep them controllable. Your label owns your masters, your publisher owns your songs, your manager takes a percentage of everything that you do, your agent takes a percentage of your live income, and your promoter takes a percentage of your ticket sales. Your lawyer charges you by the hour to navigate a system that was made complicated on purpose. Every single part of your business is controlled by somebody else. The independent label gives you a bigger slice of a small pie. The major label gives you a tiny slice of a bigger pie. And the industry tells you that these are your two options. You must pick one. Both models remove you from the center of your own career. In both scenarios, the most important person in the entire equation, the person who actually creates the thing that makes it all possible, is the person with the least amount of control and the least amount of reward. That person is you, the artist. This isn't broken. It was built to be this way. It was designed deliberately, intentionally, systematically to benefit everyone except the people who make the music, the people who pour their hearts into songs at 3 a.m, the people who get on stage and give everything that they have, the people who sacrifice relationships, stability, financial security, because they believe in something. They believe that they can connect with people, and that their art can make the world a better place for all of us. The system was never built for you. But something has changed. For the first time in history, an artist can own every single part of their business. The tools exist today. They didn't before. You can distribute your own music, you can publish your own songs, and you can market directly to your fans. You can sell your own tickets. You can sell your own merch. You can own your masters. You can own your data. Every single thing that used to require a gatekeeper, you can now do yourself. The question is no longer, can you do it? The question is, do you know how? Because here is the truth. The tools exist. The opportunity exists. The gatekeepers are weaker than they've ever been. But most artists are still stuck, some more than ever. Not because they're not talented enough, not because they don't work hard enough, but because nobody has shown you the way. Nobody has given you the system. Nobody has given you the blueprint. And that is exactly what I've spent the last 7 years building. I chose music for one reason. It is the most powerful form of communication on earth. It transcends languages, it transcends culture, it transcends every border and every barrier that human beings have ever made between each other. Music connects us at a level that nothing else can reach. And my logic was simple. If I can make a positive wave in the music business, I can make a positive impact in the world itself. When I entered the music industry, I realized something very early doors. Nobody knew what they were doing. I came from a bakery business where every ingredient, every process, every sale had to work together, or you didn't survive. And I walked into an industry where everything was fragmented and nothing was joined up. The label did one thing, the publisher did another, the manager did something else, the agent had their own agenda, and the promoter had their own agenda. Nobody was looking at the artist as a complete business. Nobody was connecting the dots, and I thought, I can fix this. The Hunna was never the destination. It was the proof of concept, research and development for what I was really building. Everything we achieved with that band, the streams, the sold out shows, the records, all of it was me testing the model, proving that the principles worked, proving that an artist could be without the traditional machine. And it worked beyond anything that I expected. But even while it was working, I knew this was just the beginning. The Hunna was an experiment. What comes next is the thing I'm actually here to build. I spent 7 years building the blueprint, testing every principle, refining every system, working with artists privately, scaling businesses in other industries, building funnels, studying the data, learning what works, and learning what doesn't, at every level imaginable. 7 years, and I would not change a single day of it, because what I have now is the complete blueprint. It's not a theory, it's not a concept, it's not an idea, it is a blueprint. Proven, tested, ready, and now it's time. This is the vision. We are not building a music company, and I need you to hear this. We are not building a music company. We are building the infrastructure for a new world, a world where artists don't just survive inside a system that was designed to extract from them, a world where artists own their future, a world where creativity is not just encouraged, but protected, funded, and rewarded at every level. This is what we are building, and music is how we are going to get there. Music is the most powerful connector on earth. Every human who listens to a song, every human who buys a ticket to a show, every human who wears a t-shirt with an artist's name on it, every human who walks into a venue and feels something change within them, that is our entry point, not our end point. Our entry point. Music opens the door, and once that door is open, we can do something that has never been done before. And here is how it works. This is the ecosystem, every piece of it. We are building it ourselves, our own music distribution already in place, our own publishing administration being built right now, our own software platform for artists to run their entire business, Artist OS, our own fan data and direct consumer platform, Fan OS, our own education system, our own venues, our own experiences, our own products across wealth, health, and relationships, and eventually our own sports integrations and stadium infrastructure, every single layer ours. The artist creates the music attracts the audience enters the ecosystem, and the ecosystem serves them across every area of their life. This is the flywheel. Music brings people in, FanOS captures the relationship, and from that relationship we build offerings that genuinely serve these people across their wealth, their health, and their relationships. Our own products, partner products, a complete ecosystem of value that flows through every artist connected to Bakery. FanOS is the foundation. It captures every fan relationship and it turns data into direct connection. Every time someone buys a ticket, every time somebody streams a song, every time someone purchases merch, that data flows into FanOS. And FanOS becomes the most valuable asset an artist has ever owned, the direct relationship with their audience. No algorithm between you and your fans. No platform deciding who sees your content. A direct line from you to the people who love what you create for them. And here's where it gets bigger than music. Wealth, health, relationships. The three things that matter most to every human being on earth. We are going to build products and partnership products across all three of them. Through FanOS, through the audience our artists build, through direct relationships. We will have millions and eventually billions of people who will engage with music. We will create our own products. We will work with partners and we will build offerings that generally improve people's lives across the three areas of their lives that matter the most. This is not a music company. This is a platform for human transformation. When you bring fans into the ecosystem and those fans engage with products across wealth, health, and relationships, you get a share of that revenue. Not just music royalties, not just streaming income, not just ticket sales, all revenue streams, every single one. If you bring in audience and you can contribute to engaging that audience, and through engagement, we sell products that genuinely serve them, you earn from all of it. This is not how any music company has ever worked. This is how we work. You don't get a slice of the pie. You own the entire bakery. Let me show you every piece of the machine we're building, because a vision without a plan is just a dream. And I don't deal in dreams. I deal in blueprints. Music distribution, already in place. Artists distribute through Bakery on a 70-30 split in their artist's favor. Not 85-15 against you like the majors. Not a 50-50 split where half your life's work goes to someone who spent a few months on your project. 70-30 in your favor from day one. And we will do more for you than most labels ever have done. This is already live and this is already working. Publishing administration, being built right now. Full ownership of your songs retained by you. We handle the administration. We get you synchronization placements. We collect what you're owed. We make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. We help you to connect with other songwriters, but the ownership stays exactly where it belongs, with the person who wrote the music. Artist OS, the operating system for your entire career, the epicenter of your business, your CRM, your content engine, your social scheduling, your team, including AI employees, your royalty tracking, your fan data, all in one place. No more 10 different platforms that don't talk to each other. No more guessing what's working and what isn't. One system, one dashboard, complete clarity on every part of your business. This is the cockpit from which you fly the plane. Education, courses, masterclasses, a complete creator marketplace, guitar, piano, production, marketing, everything an artist needs to learn to build a sustainable career, available inside one ecosystem. Because the industry doesn't just fail artists commercially, it fails them educationally. Nobody teaches you how to run your business. Nobody teaches you how to build your audience. Nobody teaches you how to think like a CEO. We are going to change that. Now let me be clear. I refuse to build something that promises one thing and delivers another. There are two paths into Bakery. Path one, you plug into the ecosystem. You use RSOS, you access the education, you distribute through us, you retain full control of your rights. You run your business your way, with our tools and our infrastructure supporting you. Path 2 for artists who show us that they're ready, who meet the criteria, who demonstrate that they have the product and the commitment. We partner with you fully. We invest real money behind you, the same level of funding that a major label would provide, but with a fundamentally different ethos. We don't just invest money, we invest conviction. We pour everything we have into making you a success. And here's what most artists won't say out there loud, but secretly I know to be true. Most artists don't actually want to have to do everything themselves. They want a partner, a real partner, someone who genuinely cares about their career, someone who will do the work, someone who will fight for them, someone who will treat them like a human being, not a line item on a spreadsheet. That is what we are. And yes, in a partnership, we will own a stake in the rights because we are investing real capital, real time, real infrastructure, real expertise. But here is the difference. Because we own the infrastructure, we operate with extreme efficiency. The artist ends up with way more money than the old system could ever deliver. Let me explain. In the traditional model, every single part of your business leaks money to different middlemen. Every layer takes cuts. By the time the money reaches the artist, most of it has evaporated. In our model, we own the infrastructure. We do our own events. We generate 2, 3, 4 times the profit of a traditional promoter. We will sell merch. There's no third-party markup. When we distribute music, there's no distributor taking their cut before you see a penny. So even though we hold a stake in a partnership, the actual money that reaches the artist is significantly more than they ever would in the traditional system. You get a larger share of a much larger pie, and you get a partner who's building the bakery around you. Bakery venues. We are going to build our own multi-purpose venues around the world, and we're starting smart. We're starting in markets where infrastructure doesn't exist yet. South America, Southeast Asia, Africa, emerging territories where there are millions of music fans, but nowhere for them to experience it. We're going to require land. We're going to build spaces that are more than just stages and bars. These venues will have stores that serve food, a place where people can hang out safely, a record store, a merch store, a music venue, creative hubs, studios, writing rooms, places where an artist can create together and collaborate in person, not just a place to perform, a place to belong. Pop-up venue experiences. In cities where venues already exist and it's harder for us to break in, we will create something that's never been seen. We will hire warehouses, we will hire rooms, and we will pop up our own complete venue experience overnight. Our own food, our own beverages, our own merchandise, a created experience from the moment you walk through the door to the moment that you leave. No venue has ever done this because no company has ever controlled every layer of every experience the way we will. Every touch point is ours. Every detail is intentional. Every moment is designed. Sports integration, stadiums, festivals, concerts at scale the industry has never seen from an independent company. We are going to integrate our ecosystem into the world of sports. We're going to acquire stadiums. We're going to create festivals and events that connect our artists with audience of tens of thousands and eventually hundreds of thousands. Because when you own the venue, you own the experience. When you own the experience, you own the relationship. When you own the relationship, you own the future. And for those of you wondering, how are we going to build all of this? Let me show you the financial architecture, because vision without financial engineering is just wishful thinking. And I don't do wishful thinking. We are going to build offshore entities in low-tax jurisdictions to maximize the profits we can invest back into the ecosystem. We are leveraging investment banks to act as capital at scale. And we are using real estate, the number one asset in the world, to borrow against, to fund our physical expansion. We acquire land, we build venues, studios, creative hubs, and the assets themselves become collateral for the next phase of growth. Each building funds the next building. Each venue funds the next venue. This is a self-compounding infrastructure engine. We are building every layer of the infrastructure ourselves, and every layer makes the next one stronger. Distribution feeds publishing. Publishing feeds RSOS. RSOS feeds FanOS. FanOS feeds our products. Our products fund our venues. Our venues create more fans. More fans create more data. More data creates more value. And the entire wheel keeps turning faster and faster. This is not a business, this is an engine. Now, I want to talk about why, because everything I've just shown you, the infrastructure, the technology, the venues, the financial engineering, all of it is a means to an end. And if you don't understand the end, none of it matters. Music is the most powerful form of communication on earth. It transcends language, it transcends culture, it transcends every border and every barrier that human beings have ever built between each other. There is no other force on this planet that connects a teenager in Tokyo to a grandmother in Lagos, to a father in Sao Paulo, to a student in Berlin, in the same moment, through the same feeling. Music does that, nothing else can. As human beings, we possess an extraordinary level of intelligence, an innate ability to summon creativity from the divine. We are inherently creative beings. Art is the natural byproduct of our creative nature. This is not something that we learn. This is something that you are. Every single one of us was born with the capacity to create. Not just musicians, not just painters, not just writers. Every human being who has ever had an idea they felt so passionately about that they had to make it real is an artist. An artist is any person who has an idea they feel truly passionate about, so much so that they must make it a reality. They have the courage, bravery, insight, creativity, and tenacity to challenge the status quo. They make it their personal mission to make this happen, and in the process, create art that's appreciated by both the creator and the receivers. Solving the world's problems through art, that is not a tagline. That is not a marketing slogan. This is the reason every single thing I've shown you today exists. The distribution, the publishing, ArtistOS, FanOS, the venues, the education, the financial engineering, the partnerships, all of it, every single piece was designed to serve one purpose: to create a world where art and artists have the power and the platform and resources to reach every human being on this planet and to awake something inside of them. The consciousness that has been put to sleep by the world that tells people to consume rather than create, to follow rather than to lead, to accept rather than to question. We are going to wake them up through art, through you. We are all creative beings. Every single one of us has the capability of becoming an artist. When we do, when we step into that truth, when we contribute to making the world a better place for all of us, that is not idealism. That is not naivety. That is the fundamental truth I have built my entire life around. Art has the capacity to transcend boundaries, evoke deep emotions, and inspire change. It is a catalyst for communication, empathy, and innovation. It can address the most complex issues our world faces and foster a sense of shared humanity. The artists who create it, you, are among the most important people on this planet, not because of fame, not because of money, because of what your art does to the people who experience it. I spent 7 years building the blueprint, 7 years of learning, 7 years of testing, 7 years of failing and getting back up and failing again and getting back up again. 7 years of working with artists, building businesses, scaling systems, studying data, refining every principle until I knew, not believed, not hoped, knew that it worked. We are going to execute this in 5 years. 5 years, that is the timeline. Not someday, not eventually, not when the conditions are right. 5 years, because the blueprint is done. The infrastructure is being built. The team is in place. The financial architecture exists. And the only variable left is speed. We are going to make up for lost time, and we are going to move with a level of conviction and urgency that has never been seen before in this industry. But here's what I need you to understand, and I need you to really hear this. None of this happens without you. Not a single piece of it. Not the venues, not the technology, not the global expansion, not the awakening. None of it. Because this entire vision, everything that I've just shown you, is built on one foundation. You, the artist, your music, your creativity, your connection with your audience. Without that, I have nothing. Without your success, none of my vision becomes a reality. I need you to understand that this is not something that I'm building for you. This is something that I'm building with you, and I cannot do it without you. Without your success, none of my vision becomes a reality. You are the foundation to everything. Every venue that I build because your music fills it with people. Every product that I create because your audience trusts the ecosystem you brought them into. Every territory I expand into because your art crossed a border before my business ever could. You came first, always, not because it's a nice thing to say, because it is architecturally true. Pull you out of this equation and everything else collapses. This is your power. And I don't think anyone has ever told you that before. I told you at the beginning that within 5 years, we're going to connect with every single human on this planet who listens to music, buys a ticket, wears a t-shirt, or walks into a venue. Now you know how. What I have shown you today is the vision. It is the complete picture, where we are going, how we're going to get there, why it matters, and why you are the most important part of it. What comes next is your invitation to be part of it. This is the rising. The time to do is now.